close the leaderboard here also to Meghalaya now. But we start with Zaka on the wall because the party that seems to be changing course is the UDP.
Yeah, I think so. The others are in the leaderboard. They are the number one party if you were to take all of them together. But I think the story of Meghalaya is very, very clear. I think Conrad's party has taken a beating, no doubt about it. They're down to 14 seats. They had 20 plus last time around. The TMC, a new player, and Rashid is right, TMC is Congress by another name in Meghalaya because it is Mukul Sangma after all, former Chief Minister. He's the head of the TMC. They have got 14, but the others is where it gets really interesting. Out of these 18, 11 of them are the UDP. The rest of them are smaller parties. So you want to go back and check what is the route to power. Remember, the UDP was with the NDA alliance in 2018 when the last time they contested and won. So you have 14 of the NPP, you have 11 of the UDP, and then you have 5 of the BJP. So this is the old NEDA alliance. If they come back, that would add up to 25 and 5, 30. They still need one more. You can assume that one of the smaller parties will back them. The other route to power, I don't know if this is possible, but if the UDP says we don't want to go back to NEDA, we don't want to have anything to do with the NDA, so they've got 11. You have the TMC, which has 13, and then you have the Congress, which has 7. So that's 20, 31. So that again would be another route to power. So which of these two routes to power will prevail in Meghalaya? I think that, to me, will be the story of the morning.
If the Tripura and the Congress party ally, that's a story in itself. It's a story in itself. But right now, it just looks like the erstwhile alliance seems to have the number with, even as Zaka was talking, the NPP has gone up to 17, BJP is 22 and 11. So then they will be at 31. So they are past that number which they want. And will they then get the regional parties also, parties like VPP, which are leading in 3? Will they do that? That's interesting. We've just got news coming through. Aparajita Sarangi, Lok Sabha MP of the BJP, joining us. But quickly putting this news that in Tripura, the BJP is crossing the halfway mark. It did, the BJP Plus did cross the halfway mark, but even as these leads are changing, we put out, and the UDP likely to play Kingmaker in Meghalaya. It's possible, it looks like it, and they're going to set stringent conditions. It's the cliffhanger in Meghalaya where there is no clear winner. Nagaland firmly in the pocket of the BJP Plus. So BJP Plus are set to sweep big in Nagaland. So that's a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. But here, on this lovely L band that we've created so that we can get you all the numbers of all the states, just focus here. This is the place where the focus lies because the scenario can change over the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. That's why no celebrations in Tripura too, because this could become critical. And this pan here, Pradyot Dev Burman led Tripura Muta, could become Kingmaker here, and the UDP could play Kingmaker in Meghalaya. So 2 Kingmakers, 2 regional identities who could then set very, very stringent conditions. And what could happen, we have to see. Will the BJP have the numbers on its own? BJP Plus, which is with the IPFT not making too many gains. Largely the wins are BJP. So let's say if the BJP can get the numbers on its own, will it then bring in Tripura on its side to be a robust, strong government which also has the indigenous aspirations of the tribals? We'll have to wait and watch. These scenarios can change. But Aparajita Sarangi is with us. Aparajita ji, namaste. So Nagaland seems to be comfortably placed, but it's all up in the air in Tripura and in Meghalaya.
A very good morning. In fact, whatever we see on the scoreboard today is the vindication of all the efforts of the central government, Prime Minister Modi and his team, and the Bharatiya Janata Party for the holistic development of the Northeast. We have been pursuing the policy of Act East. Congress used to pursue the policy of Look East. This has been the difference. And please do remember that in all these 8 and 9 years, Prime Minister Modi went to the Northeast, to different parts of the Northeast more than 51 times. And every month, twice, a cabinet minister or a minister of the central government would be touring the Northeast. So I think we have put in all efforts. And here is a party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, which goes to the people with its report card. Just let me know which party is there today in the country which goes to the people with a report card. A party which feels so much accountable to the people. Development is our main agenda. And I think people understand the Samvad of Prime Minister Modi. As far as Tripura is concerned, I'm sure you can see, we all can see we would be doing extremely well. We would be forming the government. Meghalaya, don't forget, we were at 2 last time and we are already at 6. That's what the scoreboard is showing. And Nagaland, we are coming up with a thumping majority. But we would keep our fingers crossed. It would be not right for me to kind of predict who forms the government where. But yes, BJP is all set to lead the show in all the 3 states.
As a party in Tripura, you won 36 seats individually last time around. You had 44 overall. Right now, you have 27 and largely yours. So is that a gain or is that a loss? Because right now you don't have you're not past the halfway number. You were past the halfway number just a short while ago in terms of leads, but those leads have slipped. In Meghalaya, NPP is looking stronger at 18, you've got 6, so 24, and if the UDP comes back to you, then you are in pole position to form government with 35. But will the UDP come? And that will come at a particular cost because they are going to say that they're going to put very strong conditions. So in Tripura also, it just looks like you may have to lean on the Tripura Mota right now. If you were to go in the current scenario, you will have to lean on Pradyot Burman to back you. So how is that a great performance?
Don't forget that we had bagged 35 seats on our own last time in Tripura. Yes, the scoreboard says 27, but don't forget we have 45 minutes to 1 hour to go. We would be improving our position. And I tell you, permutation and combination would take place, no problem at all. But I think we have put in a lot of efforts in Tripura, and I think it's showing. Saying that 27 is not the right number, not a good number, comparing it with the last time, it's not good. See, there is pro-incumbency wave and we must acknowledge this. What happened to the Bharat Jodo Yatra? That's the question now. Now, no Congress person should come out and say Bharat Jodo Yatra was not political. This is absolutely ridiculous. So I think Bharat Jodo Yatra
but the Bharat Jodo Yatra never went to the Northeast. It went from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Meeta Chakravarti of the Congress party is with us. And Meeta ji, would you want to... Namaste. Thank you for joining us here on the election coverage. Aparajita Sarangi is saying that the Congress party should not say what happened to the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Congress did not do too much of work, at least the national leadership, in campaigning. And wherever they campaigned, the locals allege it actually backfired. Comments that perhaps did not go down well in Meghalaya. We had one of the earlier speakers saying. But how would you want to respond to the BJP?
Okay, first of all, Bharat Jodo Yatra was taken out for a much larger cause. It was a fight against economic inequality, social inequality, and political inequality or over-centralization of power. It was not meant for electoral gains per se. Secondly, Bharat Jodo Yatra never went to the Northeast. It was a yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. So I do not know how you can link this results directly to Bharat Jodo Yatra. Thirdly, if it has to be linked right after Bharat Jodo Yatra, we saw 2 states going into election, Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. And out of these 2 states, after a gap of 4 years, we won majority in the state of Himachal Pradesh and we formed the government there. So you have to then take the whole thing into perspective if you are going to compare this with Bharat Jodo Yatra. As far as the Northeast is concerned, we are looking forward to the final figures. And yes, we definitely need to have a closer look at how the votes got split between the major opposition parties and what led to the final results. So we need to do a bit of data analysis there. And then come to any concrete conclusion.
Well, let me just get Aparajita ji. She wanted to respond to you. Yes, Aparajita ji.
See, I mean, I think the people of the country would agree with me when I say that Bharat Jodo Yatra was meant to have a pan-India influence. That is why it was from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you know, crossing the entire country. And not going to Northeast is hardly a kind of consolation. So Congress party people, Congress spokespersons actually should be asked not to comment on Bharat Jodo Yatra, rather defend Bharat Jodo Yatra. It has miserably failed and it's for all to see. See, we have put in a lot of efforts. And I think development is something which people actually go for these days. And we have gone for development everywhere. We call it Hira, as you know. It's the highway development, the inland waterway development, the railway
But
development,
Aparajita
and
ji,
the
if
airway
we were to look at
development.
the current scorecard in Tripura, where you were in government, you changed the chief minister. Right now, the left plus Congress is just 5 seats behind you in terms of leads. They have actually gained some 5 seats they have pinched from you. You were at 31 seats a short while ago. All those 5 seats in terms of leads have been pinched by the left plus Congress. And the left plus Congress currently is just 5 seats behind you. So, if you have done so much of work, then how is it that those traditional arch rivals who have come together are just 5 seats behind you?
See, IPFT fought in 5 seats this time, and we fought in 55 seats. Last time they were in 9 seats, and we were 51 seats, as we know. We thought IPFT would be doing well, and I tell you, we would be forming the government. It may be a kind of, little margin. I understand. It seems so at this juncture, but it would be premature on my part to say anything, because 45 minutes and 1 hour would be actually showing the difference. We would be forming the government in Tripura, maybe on our own. Let's see how it goes.
Well, we'll see how it goes. At this point in time, you don't seem to be forming the government on your own, and you seem to have the left and the Congress very hot on your heels. But Meeta ji, it doesn't augur well for the Congress to play second fiddle to the left in Tripura, play no fiddle at all in Nagaland, and out of tune in Meghalaya.
So I would definitely say that Congress definitely needs to relook at its Northeast policy. But before I go into that, Tripura is a state where I stayed myself for media management for a month. Congress and left coming there together was with a bigger purpose of not letting the opposition vote split. So Congress party actually made a supreme sacrifice in Tripura in terms of seat adjustment. And we did that for the larger interest of the people of the state of Tripura. Because what we saw in Tripura was a very high rate of unemployment, 16.1% if the data has to be quoted from January of this year, where the national average was around 7.1%. We saw
but all of that should have then translated. Well, see, because the polls are over, and so I'm coming back to the crux of the matter is the fact that if your issues were resonating on ground,
it is a close contest.
Then you should be.
It is a close contest. As you were saying that the BJP plus is at 27 and left plus Congress is around 22 or 23, right?
Tripura seems to have got is steady on 11 seats. Tripura is a non-entity 2 years ago.
Tripura Motha will be a very critical factor.
No, and the fact is that it's led by a person who is the former Pradesh Congress Committee chief. It's being led by a person as former Pradesh Congress Committee.
Pradhu Dev Burman happens to be our ex-PCC president.
Yes,
and Tripura Motha had fought this election against the BJP.
Correct.
They had been fighting this election in order to bring in a change.
But he has also fought the election, saying that he was unwelcome in the Congress and he was not listened to in the Congress, and he walked out of the Congress because the Congress was not doing its job. So
that was in 1999. And if you remember,
he said it in the rallies this time too.
He went to one of the constituencies in Agartala, where the Congress candidate was Sudeep Roy Burman, and from the stage there, he appealed to the voters in Agartala to vote for the Congress candidate Sudeep Roy Burman.
Correct, but did he do it for the? Did he do it because of the family connection, or did he do it because of the party connection? So you have to understand the dynamic. What I am trying to say is that the Congress party may have been somewhere around 20 seats on its own had Pradyot Dev Burman and his Tripura Motha been a part of the Congress party. Is that a point for inflection? Reflection is one point.